Hi everyone, it's Diane Evans with stampinwithdiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the interior of British Columbia. So welcome. I'm so glad that you have found me. If you're coming back and viewing my videos again, I really do appreciate you subscribing. If you are new, make sure that you are subscribed. There is a subscribe button that's on my YouTube. And if you're joining me through Facebook, just make sure that you've given StreamYard permission so that I know exactly who I'm talking to. This is live, and I may be stopping, I may be talking to different people, answering their questions, and that's all part of doing it live. So this is my Monday. This is always at Monday at 1 o'clock Pacific time. Or 11 o'clock, sorry, Pacific time. Basically, what I do is I do a fancy fold or a 3D project. And I don't know about you guys, the time change, I'm okay with the time change, but it kind of does take a little bit to get used to, that's for sure. Hello, good morning. So I'm just going to actually pop on right on down. Let's get right down to my desktop here. Now, this is part of the online exclusives. Have you taken a look at the online exclusives? I would have done something and I had a plan to do something else. I had done my pre-order, and what had happened was I didn't get, oh no, I'd done my order on the 1st of April, and it's still sitting in the border. So it's a little frustrating for me, especially when I know that there's other people that are getting it long before I get it, and they ordered after I did, but that's okay. We get to play with what we want to play with. But this Irresistible Blooms, or it's called Hello Irresistible, which is part of a suite, basically is not available. And I know that sounds like a terrible thing in order for me to tell you about this, but I want to tell you that this is part of my Your Creativity Awaits card class. We're switching it up a little bit. We're not going to be going with 8 cards, 4 different designs. We're going with 6 cards, 6 different designs. So a little bit more work in the designing department of it, but at least we're going to use this. Now, if you buy the bundle, or you just go with the stamp set, that's fine. You will get that package of 6 different cards, make and takes, and they can be done anywhere in Canada. PDFs could be for sale at a later date. One other thing about this is that it isn't available, but it will be available for Your Creativity Awaits. The ordering period, we don't cut off. Your Creativity Awaits until the 9th of April, and it looks like it's going to be back in stock around the 13th of April. So that should work out just perfect for everybody. Plus, also, we have a bonus project. If you buy the whole suite, we have a really cute project of 3 smaller note cards and a really cute box to go with it as well. But this is really such a pretty suite. It has the most amazing designer series paper that can be cut out by the dies, an awful lot of them on their own. Look at this paper. And of course, you can see sneak peek some of the new colors that are coming in with the color refresh. And I'm excited with this color refresh because these 2 colors here happen to be my favorite colors, some of my favorite colors in the past, and that's Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. On the 29th, I'll be able to give you a lot more information about the color refresh, but I can't wait to hear what colors are going and what colors are coming back and what are new in colors. We do happen to know that Boho Blue is one of our new in colors. So if you're looking for the online exclusives, just make sure that you just go to the store and go online exclusives, and it'll pull up everything that's there. Also, another thing that has sold out from the online exclusives are the 1 3/4 inch circle punch and the 2 inch circle punch, but they're coming back in. So that's a good thing. Very good thing. All right. So we are going to do, I don't know what the name of this card is. It's a flip flap peekaboo. I don't know. I don't think there is a name for it. We'll just call it a fancy fold card at that point. So we're going to be using some of this stamp set. I find with the designer series paper that you can cut out a lot of the flowers that are there, and I've gone ahead and cut some of these flowers out. This would be in the Daffodil Delight, but I I like this with So Saffron. And this has got Flirty Flamingo. So we're going to do a Flirty Flamingo card today. So we're using one of my favorite pieces, and that is this particular piece. I love this one that it goes in a full thing. Actually, let me just bring that out and I'll show you what the full piece is. That's the full piece. Now what I'm doing is I cut this down to 5 1/4, but and this is by 4 inches, and then I've got this other piece for a piece to go on the inside of this card. So I'm using up most of the cardstock. I just have a couple of pieces up at the top that I'm not using, but it works really well with this particular one. All right, so what do we have here? We've got a few things. I've prepped a few things ahead of time, but a lot of it, what I'm going to do is I'll show you how it goes. So I've got a piece of Flirty Flamingo. I don't use this color very often. It looks kind of pink on there. Let's see. Well, it looks kind of yellow or orangey on there, but in any event, hello everyone. This is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And I've scored it at 4 1/4, and we're going to go in and we're going to fold that into the mountain. Remember to fold it into the mountain. What we've done is you're folding it the opposite way of what you think. So what I've done is I've broken down those paper fibers, but I've made it so that this part of the paper is going to be even. So let's go in with our scoreboard. Oh, we got Marie from Kamloops. Oh my goodness. I'm from Florida. All over the place. Chilliwack. Oh, amazing. All right. So this is a piece that's going to go on here just like this. Does that not go so pretty with that? So we're going to go ahead and put that on there. I'm going to use my glue, and then I'm going to have to bring in my cut and emboss in a bit, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do by, my goodness, I thought that was primed. We'll just go in and get my paper clip, and we'll just get this glue so that it works good. And from Ontario, awesome. So I don't know, in North America, we did do the daylight savings time. How is everybody coping with that? I don't mind the spring forward. I just don't like the falling back. I feel sorry for people with kids. That's always a really tough time for the kids. Tough time for animals too. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and put that right onto the front, just layered like that. And then we have for the inside, I have a piece that is 5 1/4 by 8 inches. And I've gone ahead and I've scored this at 4 inches and 6 inches. And what's going to happen is, you know what, I'm going to fold it this way and then back this way. Normally what I do is I would turn it as I'm scoring it, but I haven't turned that. And then what's going to happen is this piece is going to go in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a bit of a peekaboo that goes through here. So what I want to do is I want to have this where this part's going to show through. And I've cut this from my layering circles, and I'll show you which ones I've done. But I need to cut a hole into this particular one. Now, layering circles, what an excellent, like these ones, these dies come in where you get, geez, how many do you get in here? Never remember. I think let me just double check that. There's 16 in here. Okay, so 4 of each. And I used this die from there and then this die here. So this would be the second and the fourth size dies. So I am going to cut. Now let me see. I want to make sure I've done this right. I'm going to go in and I want to cut this right like this. And on these dies here from the Irresistible Blooms, I've cut this particular one, and that's going to go around the outside, but I trimmed around the outside and I just fussy cut that because we don't have a die for that one either. So I'm just going to come in here like this, and let me just move some of the stuff out of the way here to begin with. I'm just going to put that in there like that, and we're going to cut through. Now I'm going to want, and I don't have my Terran. Oh, do I have it here? Yes. I'm going to come in with a fresh piece of this Post-it note tape. We're just going to go ahead, and I think, yeah, that's a good spot to do it. So I'm just going to do that, and then what I'm going to do is come in with my cut and emboss machine, and unfortunately I have to go in with my big cut and emboss, so it kind of takes up a bit of space here on my top here. I can't zoom out. So now what you want to do is you want to open that up. You want it opened up like this, and we're going to cut through both pieces like that. So I'm just going to go in. You know what? I don't have my other piece down there, so it's going to be a little too loose. So we're going to use layer 1 and 2. I'm going to just put a base down here, and I'm going to come in with this. Just going to put that in there like that, and then I'm just going to do another layer 3, and we're just going to run that through. Now, I don't think I have to go through twice, but I'm going to. Hello, Gayleen. All right, so let's just bring that in. And I've done all the other cutting with this, so we don't have to worry about that part. So I've got that. I have to take this off very carefully because it is a new piece. And like this. And you know, I definitely want this piece off of here because I can actually use that part of the it's really good. There we go. We'll just take that part off because I think we can use that somewhere on this card. All right, so that goes like this. And then, like I say, I can then come with this piece here. And we're going to put this down here, but we're going to decide what kind of decorations we want to put on there to begin with. Now, this has got a bit of a black mark on there. I wonder if I can get that off with an eraser. Let me just see. Well, you know what? We might be doing it this way. No, I think we'll be okay. Okay. So now this is going to go on here, and see that extra piece that was off of my that designer series paper is this piece here. Now I can go ahead and put it that way, or what I could do is put it this way. So I think what we'll do is we'll figure out what we're going to do on here first. This is going to go, this is that piece, and I'm going to put it around here. But we're going to wait until we get that all put together. And then this piece here is going to, I'm showing you the mechanism to begin with. So before we put that on, I'm going to attach that on this side of the thing, and then it's going to go like that. And then when this opens up, it'll open up and flap open like so. All right. So let's go ahead and let's put, you know what? I think I'm going to just use a lot of the coloring the stuff that we've already got. So this is going to have, let's see. We want maybe not such a big one. I think we could go ahead and put that one right there. So let's go ahead and glue that, and then I'll trim that off before I lay it down onto the card. So this piece, like I say, was 8 inches by 5 1/4. I scored it at 4 inches and 6 inches. So this is just going to go on here. Then what I want to do is I'm just going to turn this over, and let's go ahead, oops, and trim this off. Just like that. Now, I've seen this card done with lots of cute things, but I thought, you know what, this would be nice to show it done with a pretty card. So let's go ahead and put this on the inside. I will admit none of these are original fancy folds. There's some that I do have that I've gone into my stash of cards. I keep all my real fun folds or different technique cards. And this was one that was from quite a few years ago. All right, so we're just going to go. I'm getting glue all over the place. And we're just going to put that down, and we want that to be centered. And because we've used glue, I can go ahead and wiggle it around a little bit. There we go. And then this is going to go like this and like this. Now, what I want to do is I am going to put this Flirty Flamingo, and we're going to only apply it down onto this part of the card. So how I do that is I use this as a guide, and I'm going to just use my glue in here. We don't want this oozing out. So we're going to let that set for just a tiny little bit. And the same with this piece here. I'm just going to go and put glue. Now you have to be careful on this because this part is going, if you glue on the center parts here, it's going to glue your card shut. So I'm just actually going to put this on the outside parts. And we'll let the other part be free flowing. There we go. And we're going to let that set as well. All right, and I went ahead and I did cut out, like I say, a bunch of these. I cut out some leaves and I cut out some white leaves. So that's how we can decorate this card as we're done. All right, so this is the best way to go ahead and do this. We're just going to put that right in there and lift this up like that. And now we know that it's only glued to that one side right there. Now we're going to also, we're going to do a bit of stamping on here behind. Okay, so see, this is going to flop open like so. Now, I want to put this on this side, but I think this is too busy, so I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on there. And then that's going to tie this yellow in with that color as well. Are there any questions at all? It's a shame to cover up this beautiful designer series paper, but we'll do it that way. So this will just go in here. This piece happens to be 5 by 1 3/4. Like I say, this is, I wanted to show you this because this is all part of Your Creativity Awaits. And it's the Hello Irresistible Suite or the Irresistible Blooms. All right, so this is going to go like this, like this. Now, whoops, look at that. I got a bit of that glue on there. We want to get that off. You know what? That's got a bit of glue there. And I'm just going to come in with my glue eraser and we're just going to take that off. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and put this piece on here. And you see why I didn't do the inside of those circles, why I only did the outside parts. Because if I did, it would stick to that circle there. All right. And I see that I probably should have popped this little bit out here. I'm just going to go in with my Take Your Pick tool and take that little piece out. All right. So now at this point, we're going to decide what we want to put on here. So this is going to go like this. And I'm thinking to myself, it might be nice to even go in and put this one flower on there. Like I would cut it out. But I'd really like these. I love splotches. So let's go ahead and get that splotch. And I think we could do splotches. Oh, you know what? We don't even have to do splotches. We could turn around. No, I'm going to use the splotch one. I was thinking you could also fleck it with your markers, but let's go there, and we're going to use our Flirty Flamingos stamp pad. Let's just sort of put it there and off. And then we could even put one of these on there. So if it goes on here, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll work. Or do we want a yellow one on there? A yellower one. Let's see. I think I like the darker pink. All right, so let's put that on there. That's peeking through. And another thing is I could go ahead and put some of this flecking down here as well. Just like that. Let's go and put, whoops, that's not in the middle. I do have a tiny bit of time to do that. So let's go ahead and put that there. I'm not going to pop these ones up. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'll put those on after. Now this happens to be a leaf and I have embossed it. So I thought to myself, why don't we take a blending brush and we could take, what color should we do? I wonder what that would look like with Pear Pizzazz. Let's go in and take this, and then let's just, this has had some white embossing on it. It was just on my table, so that's why I'm using it. The Bracelet of Pearls. What a great way to call that, Felicia. So let's just put that on there like that. Okay, so we'll just glue this on. Bracelet of Pearls. Perfect. So let's just put that up there. Like I say, I'm not popping this up because this is still on the inside part. So it's going to come like this. And now we've got all these other ones that I can sit. And let's go like this, that. Let's see. Let's put that one there. And then another one down here. And that's going to give us a bit more of a dimension on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my white seam binding ribbon. I don't know what other ribbon I could use. Maybe I should use a double bow. So I'm just going to come in and try to tie a double bow. Those are not my ribbon scissors. Oh, your bundle arrives today. Well, mine, I cannot believe that it's taken so long for me to get my my order. It's still sitting at customs, so, or clearing agent. Okay, so I'm just going to go in and pull that through, see what that looks like. Oops, that's a really messy bow. Let's try that again. Now, if you find this ribbon too staticky, I'm just going to go in with, I have some rubbing alcohol in my spritzer. And I'm just trying to, not like I need any alcohol on there, but that is just taking the static away so that I can actually pull, do a bow with it. And the only reason I know that works is because with our stamping blends, you can color with them and that takes the static away. All right, so see how much easier that one was? And again, the key on a bow is to make sure it's good and tight. And the rubbing alcohol dries fairly quickly too, so that works pretty good. Let's just separate those a bit. Oh, well, there you go. That's an excellent way to put it. All right, so we are going to have this come here. Let's put a thing there and another one there. And this is going to kind of go up behind. So I'm going to put that on with a glue dot. It's funny, I don't really watch any of her videos. All right. But what a great... Okay, so I'm going to make sure that that's on, it's attached to that part. We're going to come in and both there and there, and then this is going to go up underneath. Now, on my other card I'd used that frayed white ribbon on there as well, but this works quite well too. All right, so I'm going to come in with my, there we go. Thank heavens for my drawer on this desk. Yeah, and your card smells a little alcohol, rubbing alcohol-ish, but it doesn't last long, that's for sure. Okay, so we're just going to put that there. And then I want to put another one right about there. And see, this is going to, yeah. So I'm going to put the dimensionals on this side. Just like so. And then I have these white leaves. I'm going to stick in there as well. Just glue those. So even the gems are coming back. So that's always a good thing. So it's just showing you that these online exclusives, sorry, I just flicked this and it works quite well that way. These online exclusives will come back. I mean, if they're not showing in that they're not available at that point, they'll just say not orderable or not available. You know, they'll tell you that you can't get it. All right, so let's put another one up here. Just sort of tucking those behind there. So much fun to just sit and decorate this stuff, right? I'm going to kind of put that on top of the ribbon as well. So we've got that like that. And then let's also put some of these on this flecked out part. Oh my goodness, there. Now, another thing that you can do with these leaves, if you wanted to, you could sit and use your bone folder and fold them up. We're just going to get those there. So we have that like that, like that. Now, what also is included in these, in the suite, are these loose frosted dots. Oh, thank you. Does look like spring. Oh my goodness, do we ever need spring? That's for sure. Now, I am going to go ahead and use the Flirty Flamingo dots. Now, I have to figure out where I strategically, oh, look at that. That glue is showing up there. Let's come in with that eraser. There we go. I'm going to put some glue up here. Let's put one right on here. Okay. Now, the putty end of your Take Your Pick tool works great for picking up your gems. So I want a big gem there. So let's go ahead and put a big one right there. Whoops. And another big one we're going to put right down here. And then I'm going to get one that's just a tiny bit smaller, if that's possible. There we go. There's one right there. Nope. Nope. Right here. And right there. Yeah, I like how that one turned out. Now, of course, oh my goodness, I didn't even put the sentiment on here. So what do we want to put on there? I think thank you would be a good one. I've gone ahead and actually did it in, yes, it's currently unavailable. That's the unfortunate part. And yes, but it will be back on the 13th or the week of the 13th is what they're saying. So be patient. They'll be back. And like I say, we're using this for our Your Creativity Awaits. This is a card class that you can do by distance. Ooh, I'm wondering if I can do something here. Anyways, but the closing date on that is April the 9th. So we'll have time to get that in for everybody. Oh, look at that. That'll work. Okay. So I'm going to put dimensional there and glue on the other side because we don't want too much popping up that's uneven. All right, so we'll just put a bit of glue there. So our fancy fold for today. So if you've got any that you'd like me to do, by all means, do you know when somebody says, oh, what's for dinner? Isn't it nice when somebody else can help you with that decision? So if there's something you'd like to see, by all means, reach out to me. And like I say, there's our card. It just sort of all comes together. We've got lots of room to write on. A lot of cards you don't have that much room to write on, but there's our card right there. So yeah, it's okay the way that turned out. Now I could use this in something else, and I probably will. I just put all these scraps, and then when I go to do a card with this, I would use that. So what is happening next? Let's see. Let me just go across here. Like I say, thanks for joining me. Make sure you give me the thumbs up, share my video. I really do appreciate that. That's one of the biggest forms that you could, forms of a compliment that you can give me. If you, what am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow's my Technique Tuesday. I have a technique that I have for you where I'll show you how to make a card using that technique. It might be a variation of that technique, or I might even be doing a technique, but stepping it up a little bit, showing you different things that you can do with that as well. So join me tomorrow. It'll be 4:30 tomorrow. 4:30 Pacific time. And remember, it's Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, so I hope that you will join me again then, and we will go from there. So also, if you live in Canada and don't have a demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. I do have a very generous online program that I have. Anyways, you guys, take care. Bye for now.